Right, I'm not sure what the crack is here, but I have parked in this car park before, and now you've got to pay. When did that change? And I've just checked on the app online, no overnight parking, and apparently, although I can't see any, there's ANPR cameras and they're giving people fines if you stay here overnight. That's a bloody joke, innit? So I'm not sure what to do now. I'm thinking I might drive all the way on this road and then try find a spot just on the A57 at the side of the road. Well, a slight change of plan then, as I'm sure you've just seen. So instead of doing a circular route, we are just doing an out and back, but it's all good. I've never actually been up to Derwent Edge, so that should be good fun. I have been to Back Tor, which is just a little bit further on, but because I went up from the other side, I've not walked along the track that I'm going to be going up, if that makes sense. I have no issue whatsoever with paying for parking, so it is a shame when a car park like that suddenly changes and doesn't even give you the option to pay for overnight. So I could have paid to park there, but it said 6 PM at the latest and no overnight parking. And when there's ANPR cameras and all that shit, although I couldn't see any, it's just not worth getting the fine. Another option was to park at the Lady Bower Inn, or opposite the Lady Bower Inn. But apparently that one is 25 squid to park overnight. This has turned into a parking episode, hasn't it? But yeah, I know I said I don't mind paying, but 25 quid, it's a little bit steep, innit, let's be honest. What's crack here then, John? No chance of closing that, is there? So it's not actually forecast to rain at all. I already had a little bits of rain in the car on the way here, and I chose the Peak District especially for that reason. I was chasing a little bit of good weather, but those clouds don't look too promising. So the plan for tonight's camp is to head on up to Derwent Edge, find a nice chilling spot and have a nice relaxing camp. And considering I've not even eaten yet, do you know what I'm looking forward to the most about this entire trip? Filling my belly, because I am starving. And it's a good time to tell you that this video is kindly sponsored by my good friends over at HelloFresh. So hold it right there.
Hold it right there.
I will go into detail about this a little bit further into the video when I'm actually making a scran. But what I want you to do right now, you see that code on screen there? Just make a little note of that code. Because I've got a feeling when you see this scran later on, this absolute sloppy scran, you're definitely going to want to be using that code. So we've not actually been going that long. We've already gained a fair bit of elevation. We've got Win Hill over there. We've got Bamford Edge there. And we've got Stanage Edge just over there. Well, the season has certainly changed since I was last in the Peak District. We've got all these stunning autumnal colours now. I've just been checking my calendar and it's actually been over 10 weeks since I last went to Peak District. The last time I were here, I did the Edale Skyline Circular, which from what I can remember was over 20 mile long. I'm hoping to do less than half of that on this one. And those eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed a new piece of equipment strapped to the side of my backpack, and that's because I've got another tent to try. So this is actually Hilleberg's lightest one-person tent, and it's the first time I'll have ever tested a free-season Hilleberg tent. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's actually really calm. There's just a slight little bit of breeze, which is nice and welcoming. So far we've done 1.5 mile, we've done 565 feet of elevation, And we've only actually got 436 feet of elevation still to go. Hi. I'm not sure how well you can make them out on camera, but there's sort of some rocks there, and some rocks all the way on there. And for those that don't know the name of the rocks, which is me included, I will be checking on the map as and when we get to each one, and hopefully one of them is suitable to pitch at. Oh yeah, and can I just do a quick little mention to all those that have gone out of the way to drop me a message on Instagram or on a comment on YouTube to say that you've been watching my videos and it's encouraged you to get out hiking or camping. Because yeah, I'm not gonna lie, when I started this channel 3 years ago, I didn't have any intentions of deliberately making videos that may encourage people to get outdoors. So that is an absolute bonus. So the first set of stones that we've passed on my map are known as the Hurkling stones. Now we may come back to them if we don't find anywhere else to pitch. So I've just been reading about these big fat lumps of rock that seems to be all along this edge. So Derwent Edge has several examples of unusually shaped gritstone tors that have been formed by erosion from wind, rain and frost over many centuries. These tors have been named over the years by local residents and have now been officially titled on the Ordnance Survey maps. Is that how you say that? Ordnance Survey maps. OS maps to you and me. These include the cakes of bread, the coach and horses and the salt cellar. The coach and horses, also known as the wheelstones, resemble a person on a carriage with horses when viewed from the A57 road to the south. So that is where we're actually heading next. Because on my map, let me just have a quick little look. Just wait there a little second, please. On my map, it's known as wheelstones. So this is either wheelstones or, what were it? The coach and horses. Take your pick. What do you call it? One thing I do know is we are on Mr. Messner's stomping ground, because I definitely recognise these rocks from a few of his videos that I've watched. So that is cool. Paul Messner's a legend. I don't know if you can hear that, but my arm packs is a right squeaky bastard today. I'm not sure if it's how I've packed it or what, but it's not normally like that. But it's doing my tits in. Yeah, this looks well bigger in person. That's what she said. I want to climb on. Now I know already that that'd make a good camping spot, but I do want to have a look over there first, see what that's saying. That right in the distance, that might be Back Tor where I've already camped, so we don't need to go that far on today. You can hear pots and pans clanging in my backpack. Right, let's have a look up here then. See what we've got to deal with. Where do you pitch on here? I hope that wind's gone up. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm missing something around here, but that other one were well better for pitching a tent. Whoa, you alright, boss? Yeah, I've decided to head straight back to Coach and Horses, and I'm going to bag one of these spots just in case someone else comes along and starts pitching up. We don't want that, do we really? The question is, which side? do we pitch round here, which we will have views over in that direction. It would be nice if we was to get a sunset, because it should be over there, I think. Or if we just cut through here a second, we go at this side. I am edging towards this side, I think. Do you know what I've just done? I'm an idiot. I'm actually an absolute fool. An idiot. Well, at least it's more practice, innit? I've just pitched the tent completely. I always do this, and it's quite annoying. Do you know what I've done? You know what I've done, don't you? I've pitched the tent, well, I haven't even finished pitching it, with the door at this side instead of that side. So let's get them pegs out and let's turn it round. Luckily I've only put 5 pegs in, so let's spin it round. And there we are, all pitched up for the first time in the Hilliberg Enan. I will watch a quick video on YouTube to find out how it's supposed to be pronounced, and then we'll run with that from then on. But this is the free season beast. So we've got a single guy line on this side, full mesh here, which can be covered over apparently, and then we've got a peg there and a peg there, a guy line at both ends, so one at that end, one at that end, and then same over here, a single guy line with the mesh. And there's not actually any pegs or anywhere to put pegs in this bit, which I thought you would. I thought you'd pull it out and peg it in, but no, that's just how it is. But I guess the stability is in the pole and in these guy lines. So it's not a freestanding tent, it does rely on a good peg and tension to keep it upright. And those that are familiar with these tents might have noticed that I have actually swapped the pole out already. So you can upgrade the pole from a 9mm to a 10.25mm DAC pole. So let's open her up and have a look inside. I have got the optional footprint as well. It is a shame that it doesn't look like we're going to get a sunset, because it is very cloudy right about now, but you never know it next hour or so. And I tell you something, the forecast chat's absolute bollocks as well, because it wasn't supposed to be raining and it's just started spitting. What do you actually think of the tent then? Let me know in the comments. Now obviously it's not going to be as strong as my other Hilleberg tents, because my Solo and my Stiker are black labels. This is a yellow label. So you've got the yellow label, which is their lightest range of tents. So that's the Enan part of that. So that's 3 season. And then you've got the red label, which is 4 season tents. Good enough for anything in the UK really. And then you've got the black label tents, which are proper expedition tents. That's what my Solo and my Stiker is. So they're like top of the range, Rolls Royce of tents. Any Hilleberg tent knows pucker. And then you've got the blue label, which is rarely seen, to be honest. It is for me anyway. And those are like group tents, so anything from 6+ all the way up to 14 person tents, I think. So you're talking some hectic shit. So for a 3 season tent, especially now I've added this extra pole, 1.2 kilo. I'm saying 1.2, but obviously that will be before I upgraded the pole. So let's say at 1,250 grams, that is one hell of a tent. Couple things I've noticed straight away with this being my first yellow label tent. The guy lines are way thinner. Whoa, got a fly? What are you doing, boss? Not today, pal. And I've also noticed that the pegs are a different shape, and they're slightly smaller as well. Now, in my opinion, out of the 3 Hilleberg tent colours, you've got the sand, you've got the red, and you've got the green. I'm going to say green is my least favourite. But I've got the Solo black label in sand, and I've got the Stiker in red. So I thought I might as well add a green one to the collection. And I say that, I bought this used. So I had a quick search on Facebook Marketplace, which is a bit dodgy for buying a high value tent. But then I was in the Hilleberg Tents for Sale Facebook group, and I seen a tent posted there quite a few weeks ago. It might have been like 6 weeks ago, 8 weeks ago, something like that. And I thought, I recognise that name. And I had a look, and it was Twiggy from Twiggy Escapes. I've actually seen him before in Edale, and I give him a shout out on the channel. He's got his own channel. So I messaged him on Instagram. I said, by any chance is that tent still for sale? And he said, yeah. And you know what he did as well? The absolute legend. He sent me it out before I'd even paid for it, and he's like, just have a look at it. But obviously I've paid for it now. But yeah, that is top quality service, that right there. So big ups, mate. And I've given it a once over, checked it all, and it is exactly as he described it as. Perfect condition. He chucked in the footprint with it as well. So I got an absolute bargain. So big ups, Twiggy. I will put a link in the description to his channel so you can check it out. In fact, you'll actually see this tent in action on his channel from when he used to use it. Yeah, do you know what? If these clouds could just shift a little bit more, we might get a sunset, you know. So you might be thinking, why have you even bought that tent? You don't need it, and that's true. I don't actually need it, but there is a little gap. There's certain scenarios where this tent will be perfect. So there's times where I might want to go on like a longer mission, so say, I don't know, 2 or 3 nights, quite a few miles. That tent would be perfect because it'd keep the pack weight down. And I wanted a tent that is lightweight, but if the weather does change, so I can head out when it's relatively windy or whatever, then at least I know I've got a tent that's going to be alright and it's not going to collapse. And I know I have got the Bonfus, that ain't going anywhere. Obviously if it were anything that was really long distance, like, I don't know, 100 mile or whatever, then I'd take the Bonfus, because when I do those sort of hikes, it's nice to take the trekking poles just in case. And that is another reason why I've got this. My lightweight tents, all of them, they all require trekking poles. Now, unless I'm doing something really multi-day, long distance, I never use them. I'm going to have another little mooch round here, just to see if anyone else has pitched up. You never know. Back to back and that. I'd say that's good wild camping etiquette, because at least I can't see them if they are pitched up. But nah, it's been a quiet night, you know. I seen a couple of walkers earlier going over there, and then there were just two mushers on mountain bikes that came down here. And apart from that, I haven't seen anyone, which is just how I like it. But yeah, make sure you let me know in the comments, what is your favourite Hilleberg tent colour? Is it the green, is it the sand, or is it the red? Or just tell me your favourite tent colour. Whatever the brand, it don't matter. Get it whacked in comments. Way. Sun's out, lad. Nice. Nice! And then what weight I save on the tent, I soon make up for in all other crap that I bring. That's class. Nice table. Hefty chopping board. Good to go. Well people, it is now time for what I would say is probably my most favourite part about camping, and that is the food. And we're not messing about this week, because tonight's meal has been provided by HelloFresh. I'll be honest, I think quite a lot of people think that when you go camping, you've got to eat boring food. That seems to be the impression anyway. Oh, I'm just going to pop into the shop and buy one of those shitty sarnies from Bossman. Shite. Oh, I'm just going to buy one of those rabbit food dehydrated meals. Shite. Why would anybody do that when you can just keep it simple, but keep it affordable and have quality ingredients whilst you're out here enjoying the great outdoors? For tonight's meal, I am in for a treat. Super quick, cheeseburger inspired sloppy joe with baby leaf salad. We like to keep it healthy from time to time on this channel. You know what it's like. And this couldn't be any simpler. We have got 4 steps. That is it. You get one of these meal cards with every single dish, and they are super easy to follow. And I already know that this is going to be one of my favourites to take camping, because it comes from the super quick section, and it literally takes 10 to 15 minutes. All these fellow hikers and campers in the Peak District right now are going to come bumbling round that corner any second when they smell this bad boy getting cooked up. Who was that muppet that used to do that thing with his elbow or whatever? That salt guy. What happened to him? I'm not going to try it with down jacket on. Oh, this is smelling awesome. So that's nearly done. I've toasted my bread, sort of. I've mixed up my salad, grated my cheese. So right now on the HelloFresh website, there is double the amount of available meals to choose from each week. And 50% of all those meals can be prepped in less than 30 minutes. And I think we are pretty much good to go with this one. Now, if I'd have thought ahead, I'd have brought a spoon and I'd have made this look a lot more presentable. But the most important thing for me is how it tastes. Remember, it's the sloppy joes. So if you want to make yourself a meal as tasty as this, and come on, let's be honest, how good does that actually look? This is going to be banging. Then make sure you click the link in the description. Use the code GoodBloke5020 to get 50% off your first box, plus 20% off the next 4 boxes. And the absolute deal breaker, you know it by now, free desserts for life. And don't worry, I've got mine with me and I can't wait for that after this. So let's have a little try of this. We're in the great outdoors, man, eating Sloppy Joe's burgers. Don't tell HelloFresh, but I'm not massive on the salad, but I don't mind a bit on the side. That's just my personal preference. Let's have a go. That burger sauce and the cheese. Now, there is some secret ingredients in this mince, but you'll have to check it out for yourself to find out what they are. That is banging. And don't forget as well, if you're watching this, say you're watching it on your big fat telly, get your phone out. You see that little QR code? That one right up there. If you get your camera out on your phone, hold it to the screen, scan that QR code, that'll take you to the HelloFresh website and you'll be able to use my discount code. Oh, that is better. Filled me belly. Where is this sunset at, eh? It's not happening, is it? Oh well, you can't get it every time. Although, looking back on my videos and thinking about it, I seem to not get a sunset far more often than actually getting a sunset. So either I pick the shittest days to come out, and I promise you it's not on purpose, or I'm just terribly unlucky. It was supposed to be clear. I was looking at visibility. Excellent, very good, all that tackle on Met Office. Chat shit. Although the visibility is good, it's just it's cloudy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that meal were actually banging, and that's being on a reel with you. I know you might be thinking, oh, sponsored ad and all that stuff, but HelloFresh is cool, man, honestly. Decent stuff. My mum enjoys HelloFresh, my sister gets HelloFresh, brother Ben gets HelloFresh. We're all on it. One thing I'm not happy about though, which I've just spotted, there is a can down there, spoiling the landscape. So I'll take that with me because it's only a can. Oh, I could have a can of Coke as well. And I'll put that in with my rubbish. Wankers. Wankers. Oh, wankers, sorry. Wrong sign. See, we've got some colours. There is some colours. Go on a little mooch just to warm up a little bit, because it is getting a little bit chilly now that sun's setting. And there's a slight little breeze with a little nip in the air. So let's have a look back. So you can see my tent. I'm just going to spin you around right now, real time. That's stealthy, innit, that? We've got all those rocks, and my tent, I can't really see it on this camera. It's there. You might be able to see it on big screen, but I'm just looking through the back end of the camera with the small screen. But yeah, that is stealthy, that. That's good. But yeah, I suppose that is a good thing about that green tent, and another use for it. There is times where you might be on like a multi-day hike and you're wanting to pitch up somewhere a little bit sketchy, like a farmer's field, basically somewhere that you shouldn't be camping, then at least having a tent that's going to blend with the environment. In my opinion, red tents are the best, especially in winter when you have that snowy landscape and you've just got that bright red tent standing out. And when you do like drone shots and that, I just think it looks epic. But obviously you have different tents for different scenarios, different situations, different seasons, different types of adventures. So you can never have too many tents, can you? As long as you use them all and put them all to good use. That's what I tell myself anyway. And look at that, we've got some nice colours in the sky. It's a really cool place. Lovely landscape. And these rocks are cool. But yeah, you can see how much room there is in there. I've got all my crap in the left hand side. I do need to tidy up, I know that. Including my backpack. Sleep system in there with nice comfy pillow. And then we've still got all this vestibule area. So even if it were raining, we could close the fly sheet down, open the top half to let some ventilation in. And you can easily make a brew and that in there. Because it's got quite a wide footprint. I'm liking it. It's a good little tent. The Hilleberg Enan. The Hilleberg Enan. So I do like to come to the Peak District every now and then because I know quite a lot of you guys are local to the Peak District, or this is at least your closest national park. But where would you like to see me go next? Should we go to Wales, Snowdonia, up to Lake District, tick off some more of them Wainwrights? Shall I go up to Scotland? Let me know in the comments because I'm happy for your suggestions. Or do you want to see me do a multi-day hike? I reckon we can squeeze one more of them in this year. I don't know, because it's getting dark early now. But if it's not too long, not too big of a multi-day hike, we might be able to squeeze one more in. But yeah, if you've got any suggestions, please let me know in the comments. There, that's what we like to see. Some nice, beautiful colours in the sky. We've got some pinks, we've got some oranges. And I think the sun is setting. I'm sure that's the east over there. Or is it the west? I don't know, man. Rise in the east, set in the west. Is that which way around it goes? Who am I talking to here? This guy or this guy? I'm updating Patreon here, guys. Make sure you jump on patreon.com/goodblokeoutdoors. So this is a sleep system for tonight. I've got my Alp Kit Pipe Dream 400 free season sleeping bag. I'm not sure how many more camps I'll be using this for this year until we get out the big boy winter sleeping bag. The air mat is the one I use the majority of the time, and that is the Thermarest Neo Air X-Lite NXT. The pillow, I've gone for a little bit of luxury this week. We've got the Flextail, it's just called the Zero pillow, I think. A Flextail Zero pillow. And that is me, nice and comfy. So this tent has got 2 pockets as well, so I've just got a carrier bag in there and just the bag for my sleeping pad in there. That's cool. Got my drone down there, I will move that, and my batteries for my camera. And that is me all good. I've more or less packed up and tidied up. So I've got all my mess in there as well as my pans and that. So that's good to go. It'll keep it separate from messing up the inside of my backpack. And then my backpack I've just slotted down there. And soon I'll be having this bad boy. 3 desserts for life. And I tend to make the most of that. So that is a salted caramel cheesecake. I get these every time, man. Beautiful. And as you can see, it's more or less dark now out here. So I've just been using the light to film that bit. But yeah, it's a decent spot. We didn't really get a sunset, which is a shame. But you never know. We might get a sunrise. Although the forecast is pretty much the same. All night and all morning. Anyway, I'm going to get comfy now. Get inside my humble abode for the night. And probably shut this door. Oh yeah, let's pretend that we're closing tent up for night, even though we've clearly left the camera outside. It's time to tuck in to this bad boy. Salted caramel cheesecake. Elite level dessert this. Right guys, time is kicking now, so I'm going to get nicely snuggled up in my sleeping bag and stick something on to watch, and then hopefully get a nice early night with some decent sleep. So I'm going to set my alarm now and I will bring you lot back in the morning. There's a few little wind gusts coming in, but nothing too bad, as I'm sure you can hear. Right, safe in a bit. Good morning, Sherpas, Gurkhas and Twerkers. I have had a banging sleep. The fact that there was no wind out there, not me, but no wind made a massive difference. So let me check I'm loving this Garmin me, sleep stats and all that stuff. I've had 7 hours, 27 minutes sleep. The quality was good. And all the notes say is,
you had some time to rest late in the day, which helped improve your sleep quality.
Fair enough. And I got a score of 83 out of 100. Not too bad, is it really? Can't complain at that. It's certainly a hell of a lot more hours than I usually get camping. Oh. So it is. Excuse me, sorry. What time are we on? 7 o'clock. 6:59. 7 o'clock. So it's time to get moving, I reckon. I'm going to have a look outside, see what the crack is. You never know. We might have a sunrise. It doesn't seem it though. I've got a feeling it's going to be a little bit claggy. Claggy. Let's have a look. I can see some condensation on the inside of the fly sheet. I've got nothing on the inner tent. I suppose that's what matters really. But yeah, the fly sheet is quite damp. If I turn you around, you can see that way I've just wiped my tingers. Let's have a look out here then. Oh, I don't know. Decent can't speak. Decent visibility out there. Right, let's go have a look before we finish off packing up. Let's go see if we can see any sunrise. Oh mate, I can see some nice colours. It's alright that, innit? It will never do it justice on the shitty little action cam, but that sun is certainly popping out, nice and orange. Nice little spread on colours over the horizon. It is actually looking a little bit misty. It's not quite perfect visibility. Tent's there, that one's mine there, that green one. And the sun is popping out. If it weren't for all these clouds, can't complain really, because normally I get sweet fuck all. So I brought with me a 750ml full of juice. I've still got some of that. A 750ml full of water, not touched that. And then a litre of water, and I've used probably less than half. So I've not drunk enough water, as always. It's weird because when I'm at home, I have pint after pint after pint of Stella. That's a joke. Sober life and that. Yeah, it's weird because when I'm at home, I have pint after pint after pint of like black, what's it called? Blackcurrant squash or something, or it's not even blackcurrant. What do I get? Apple and blackcurrant squash from Tezza's. But yet when I'm camping, I don't drink nowhere near enough. So that can go outside at pack. And then on the other side of the pack, the best thing about this tent, I'll take that out though first, that's my oil. Or one of the best things about this tent, it literally fits in the side pocket. That's how small of a pack size it is. And then my water bottles will just go in the front. That's my bag full of batteries. They just go in the hip belt pocket. So quick access for when I need it. That's my second camera. I won't need that now till we get back. Slide that down the front. Along with my HelloFresh meal card. Definitely going to save that. I've got a big stack of these at home so that I can reuse them if I need to. A spare little tripod. Stash that down front. And then this bag has got my drone controller in it, so I can either wear it as a hip belt or wear it as a hip bag, whatever they're called. What are they called? Bum bag, fanny pack, or what I do quite often, I'll just wrap it over the front of the pack and cinch that up, and that just stays there. And that is me pretty much packed away, apart from the main event. I'm not sure if I mentioned these yesterday, but inside the head and foot end of the tent there's these tiny little, I think they're made of carbon fibre, little carbon fibre rods, although they don't look carbon fibre, but who am I don't know. Yeah, there's these little rods here, and they just keep, well, they just add a little bit of height to the foot and head end, and then you can get that ventilation running through. The only downside for them rods is when you're packing the tent down, you can't quite squeeze it as small as I'd like it to, you know, and just put it in its own little dry bag, because you're only ever going to get it as small as those rods. You can take them out, but it's a right faff, so it's not recommended to do that. And it's such a simple tent to put up and put down, as long as you remember to have the door facing the right way, unlike what I did. Once you've took all the pegs out, apart from two at the end, just so it don't blow away, then you go around to the opposite side, loosen that band, and then just pop your pole out. As easy as that. us. Done. Let's get out of here. Alright. Alright, mate. How you doing up there? I'm not sure I can reach you. Whoa. There you are. Right then. You know what we say, don't you? Leave no tea race. And let's get out of here. Let's get out of this shithole. I'm only joking. Far from a shithole. Absolute lovely spot. Really enjoyed that. So this is the wagon coaches. The horse and carriage. What's it called? The wagon and the coaches. Wagon and Peak District. Oh, it's called the Coach and Horses. That's why I couldn't find it. We're bringing up bloody pubs and that. So this is the Coach and Horses, aka the Wheelstones. Is that the Wheelstone Raider? Do you want some? If you want some, I'll give it you.
If you want some, I'll give it you.
Who remembers that legend? Right. Back down this path. It's actually nice to know that we've not even got far to hike whatsoever. My fingers are nipply though. That little wind chill that's in the air is biting my fingertips. Not many colours in the sky right now. I'll spin you around. You can have a quick last look at Coach and Horses. See what you think. It's nice, isn't it? Good little gas that. Like it. Let's see what the whip's been saying. Well, hopefully it's not been broken into, and hopefully it's not been smashed to bits on that A57. If it were winter, I wouldn't have parked it on there, because that is probably one of the most closed roads up north. You hear about it being closed so many times, whether that's landslides or accidents or too icy or whatever. So you know this Century jumper? This is my favourite jumper that I have. Has anybody noticed anything different about it at all? Just have a good look, have a good think, and if anyone's noticed anything different, put it in the comments. I'm not going to tell you the answer, not yet anyway, but I'm just interested to see if any of yous have actually noticed a difference. Now back at the A57, I'll walk a little bit further down before crossing, considering we're on a bit of a blind bend there. So that is the Lady Bower Inn, and then opposite is the car park, where if you look online, £25 to park there for night, hence why there's nobody there this morning. Right, let's get across. Rapid. Should see the VIP as soon as I get around this corner. Ooh, where is she? Yes, yes, brother. The VIP. Oh, something VIP. Right gangsters, that is me back at the whip safe and sound after another successful camp in the Peak District. A decent area, a steady walk, and all in all, a nice chilled out camp. Right, thank you for watching. Smash that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you think. Click subscribe if you're not done already. Weekly videos every Monday at 7 PM. Don't forget to check out the HelloFresh link, it'll be in the description, and use the code GoodBloke5020 to get you sent some decent scran. Right, peace out. In a bit.